Dressrosa is one of the most poorly written shonen arcs I've ever come across. That's wild. 120 episodes of one arc, bad characters that get too much screen time, generic villain with a generic backstory, terrible animation, slow pacing, etc. This is crazy. If it can get any worse, can it get any worse than that? For some reason, Oda isn't capable of making a story arc that isn't extremely long anymore. What? And then he goes on to say, I'm not reading the whole thing, but he goes on to say, all right, so this is from MKZX Wing, or MKZX Wing, yeah. I'm not going to read the whole thing because this was like an essay, but I will pick out the parts that, I found interesting. So, no one dies in this anime. Capital letters.
So far, he's speaking facts. Well,
yeah.
He's no one dies. But I get the point he's making.
And this person also, he or she, this person said, this is of course an exaggeration, as some people actually do die in this anime. But when it's critical to the plot, no one dies. Sometimes the character died just to add drama and then come back to life after a few scenes later. Really? Sometimes.
Well, some like people like Pell. Remember Pell? Had like that big explosion in the sky and then just came back like.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be having for dinner. It's like just calm. But okay, I get it. Okay.
Another thing I wanted to highlight is that this anime is not one I would recommend someone to watch under any normal circumstances. This is the same person.
Strong.
I watched over 600 episodes myself, and I can safely say that although some parts were enjoyable, it was mostly rather boring when I looked as a whole, and especially the later episodes. And I'm regretting the time I spent watching it. As I watched it because of a friend's recommendation to me, I did not expect it to last this long.
W friends.
I usually finish what I start, but this is just ridiculously bad and really beyond me at this point.
Do they go into? I know. Can you read some more reasons as to why they say it's bad? Because when someone just says it's bad, like give me some reasons. Like you're giving this 1 out of 5 star. If you want to say, so far we've got people die. Now is that worth 1? I don't think so.
It's not.
So
it's
what other things have this person? What have they put?
So the plot itself progresses in such a slow pace that it's rather hard to watch.
Slow pacing, cool. Okay.
Yep. I mean, to be honest, I will go through. What I've done is I've basically taken 3 or 4 and extracted the best snippets out of them. But I've also summarized all the key points in bullet points.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So I'll do that after I read all the different essays, as it were. I won't read the actual essays, but the different snippets. Then I basically put it into AI, and then I summarized in terms of what are the highlights, what are the key themes that people essentially are saying.
So do it for this one. Or have you got more points?
What in terms of
this One Piece comment?
Have I got more points in terms of?
Have you summarized the One Piece comment yet? Basically, my point is, if you're gonna give it 1 star, show me the receipts. Like so far, you've said he or she has said. Slow pacing,
so basically,
valid,
this one,
no
they talk about the pacing.
Or limited,
They talk about no deaths happening.
Okay.
And they've also talked about, that's it, and it's too long. Those are the 3 main themes for this one.
My friend, you don't have discipline. You don't have discipline. You don't have staying power.
Oh, and they like to cry too much, apparently, in One Piece.
True.
Also, I mentioned crying. There's an unbelievable amount of this in the anime. They do not try to they try to milk it for the drama. They didn't think that when someone cries, he instantly turns ugly with snot running down his face or his nose. The worst facial expressions ever. This is just ridiculous.
Okay, so let me summarize this person's experience because I think it's actually fair. Not fair, but the pacing in One Piece is bad. Yeah. You know that? We've said that, put it to one side, we all accept it. The pacing in One Piece is bad. Now, what happens when the pacing of a show is so bad that it prevents you from getting truly invested into the story?
I mean, there was 600 episodes, so it's not like they weren't.
Yeah, I know, but then I'm trying to put myself in this person's shoes, right? So I'm trying to see, okay, so what would have to be true for you to watch 600 episodes and still think it's 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5? Like, what has to happen?
It's 1 out of 10. Yeah.
1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5?
1 out of 10. These are all 1 out of 10s.
1 out of 10.
Yeah.
For me, they're trying to compare it to something, and it's never been their sole anime. It's never been like the top of their list to watch. One Piece has never been on the top of their list of things to watch. You know how we all watch like multiple shows at the same time? One Piece has never been at the top of their list. Never. Which then gets me saying, what the hell are you doing wasting your time for 600 episodes then?
I have no idea, mate.
600 episodes. You should be dropping that after like 10 if you really did. So I think this is an exaggeration. He or she has liked part of it, but the pacing is so slow that they just can't really invest themselves in the story, because every time they feel like they're about to get invested, they don't care. And some of the repetition that we see in the early part, and actually now, it's understandable. Luffy and the crew go to an island. They find out the local indigenous people have been hard done by. They ball out and destroy the people. They destroy the bad guys. Rinse and repeat. That's pretty much it, right? And then it's only that's a lie. Not more recently, but throughout the arcs, there is in that like this underlying storyline that we all know and love that grows in intensity as the show progresses. But if you're looking on the face of it as a show and you don't pay attention to kind of the subplots that happen, every island is the same. Let's go to an island, people cry. Luffy says, "I'll save you."
Well, actually, hold that point, because there's someone who actually did mention about how nothing changes and
bit rinse and repeat sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes.
They complain that this is supposed to be character building, but they've only been to like 3 islands and like 500
I don't believe this, by the way. No one come at me. I don't believe this.
Yeah, I know, we know.
I'm just trying to put myself in this person's shoes.
Here's another one. Here are examples of this person says he calls it One Piss.
Wow.
I know, right? But we'll go for One Piece, even though they spell it PISS. It's about a trash character. So they gave him the story 0 out of 10.
Whoa!
I know, this is wild.
Whoa.
This is wild. And basically this is why. So I won't read the whole thing. I've just gone through the highlights. Here are examples of the arcs that have been absolutely nothing to do with the story: Alabasta, Skypiea, Thriller Bark, Drum Kingdom, etc. None of these arcs have anything to do with Luffy becoming the Pirate King, yet they each are at least 40 chapters. I would disagree with that, because I think Alabasta definitely does, especially where we are now and seeing what happens in the in terms of the connection being tied. Dressrosa is one of the most poorly written shonen arcs I've ever come across.
Wow,
that's wild. 120 episodes of one arc, bad characters that get too much screen time, generic villain with a generic backstory, terrible animation, slow pacing, etc. This is crazy. If it can get any worse. Can it get any worse than that? For some reason, Oda isn't capable of making a story arc that isn't extremely long anymore. What? And then he goes on to say, I'm not reading the whole thing, but he goes on to say, one thing One Piece fans praise about the series is how good the world building is. In my opinion, it doesn't mean S. If One Piece has good world building, why should I care about how detailed Oda made the world of One Piece when the crew is just stuck on one island for 100 chapters? The world building is irrelevant if we barely even get to see the rest of the world, besides the island they spent 200 chapters on. For F's sake, they've only been on 5 for over 300 episodes. This person is triggered. This person is triggered. So they've broken it out by story, which they've done like a half a page on. 0 out of 10. They gave characters 0 out of 10. Animation 0 out of 10. The only part that this person enjoyed is Zoro. Speaking about Zoro, he's the only Straw Hat that actually developed as a character.
Nah, this guy's a troll. This guy's a fool.
He must
troll.
be.
He's a troll.
He or she
is a troll. He or she is a troll.
Yeah, they must be. It says, how can I possibly enjoy an anime that has bad characters and a bad plot? This truth is I can't. It was at least decent until Oda completely destroyed his manga. The only reason I gave it 1 is because Zoro.
Where did it get? Does it say in there where they got up to?
After 800 episodes, Usopp is still acting like a coward. So I'm guessing 800 episodes.
At least
watched.
800 episodes.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are there? Well, 800 episodes. Just quick Google break.
A few moments later.
So Vince Smoke family is... Oh, so that's Sanji's...
Whole Cake
Island. Yeah.
So they got to at least Whole Cake Island. Okay, let me put it in this term.
I think this person's trolling, I'll be honest.
Well, okay, even if they're not.
They also do say the plot is very formulaic, which...
I just don't know why you can bring yourself to waste that much time. So, for example, I'm not going to say any spoilers, but I've been given. If people are paying attention over the last few episodes, last like couple of months actually. There's been I've been on this journey with JJK. I've hit highs, and as I've said before, every episode, every chapter that comes out, it just drops by 0.1. My score keeps dropping. I've gone on this roller coaster of emotions. And on my Discord, I said, if certain things happen, I'm going to drop the series. I'm going to drop it. If certain things happen in the next few chapters, I'm just going to drop it. Because there's no point continuing to watch something that I don't enjoy. I'm just getting frustrated at, or I don't see the point in. Or I might as well just wait till the good bits and then just read or watch the good bits. For you to watch, and this is like 200 chapters in, and most of it is actually pretty good. It's only the last, like, say, 50, everyone's like, okay, what's happening here? So for me to watch 800 episodes, Ed, 800, and
I'm guessing they have
because
they said that. Yeah,
I mean, I think people are entitled to their opinion, but I just think don't waste that much time to make that.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's as simple as that.
Like, because someone said, I don't like it, couldn't get into it, I watched like 30, 40 episodes, didn't like it, cool, got it, makes sense, fine. You made a decision quite quickly and you ducked out. But 800, and then for you to say that there's no storyline. Nah, I don't buy that. You can't watch something for 800 episodes and say there's no storyline.
It's absolutely wild. I mean, there's another one, so I've got two more, and we can then basically I'll read the bullet points in terms of the summation, which kind of captures all the sentiments of these reviews. So this is another one from Opponent. The perfect example of quantity over quality, both in characters, episodes, arcs, and everything. Being a part of the big three and considering its popularity and rating, it was to expect better. Instead, it was just a long waste of time. Again, I remember I'm reading people's grammar. Under promise of it gets better, I watched over 500 episodes and it never did. As much popular as the show is, it tries to milk as much of the property as possible and shows how strict the schedule of publishing manga is, considering how bad it is. Okay. Then they go into like main characters and story in terms of why they don't like it.
And then you're gonna have to give me this one. I need to understand more about this one.
So for characters, over the million characters it has, focusing on the main crew, they all give the illusion of being good characters considering the eternity you have with them, but they just have a typical sad backstory and remain pretty one-dimensional throughout the rest, growing only on power level and fighting abilities. The rest of the characters are good as their designs. Appalling. The rest of the characters are as good as their designs, appalling and ugly, which is expected considering there's millions of them. Main character receives its own category by how terrible it is. The show treats him being a jerk to others for no reason, as a joke. His humor's being vulgar. No, it's not. And there's no stakes to his elastic plot armor. He has terrible morals. Nah, this person's trolling. It makes a truly obnoxious character hard to root for, even when sometimes bad happens. I'm not reading this. I could just poor grammar. What? And then story. What does it? What is it? What? Nah. I can't read this, man. I'll go to their fan base. It gets the award for being the worst of all anime community, considering they have to dedicate so much of their time to the anime alone. It is all they can talk about and trash on every other anime that gets popular. They have the mentality that only allows them to like One Piece and hate everything else. In conclusion, there's no reason to watch this besides knowing not how to do storytelling. Besides world building, there's nothing of value here. It's a good thing that its sheer amount of episodes discourages people from watching it in the first place.
Wow.
I honestly, this one, I picked out the highlights, but when you told me to start reading it, man, the grammar, I can see so many red lines on my Word document because I copied it in. Yeah, it's grammar is just...
Okay. All right, cool. I've got so much to say, but carry on.
But yeah. So I'll go to the next one. I've been a fan of the series again, since a lot of years ago. I dropped the anime when it started, the previous saga. I don't know what saga that is, to the actual Punk Hazard. This means I have not seen a single chapter in 3 years. Okay. The obsession of Oda. So the development of the plot lacks complete fluency. The narrative of the chapters got worse, more or less. Fishman Island, Oda is obsessed about telling the story of every single Straw Hat, and that's quite tiring. If you subtract the opening, the ending, and the resume, the chapter will get reduced to 10 minutes. I see his point there. Surprise, it won't happen anything in that time. The thing that happens in the chapter will happen at the last moment, so you have to wait another delicious week. I mean, that's just all shonen. It's not really just One Piece. The obsession of Oda always telling the past of characters the obsession of Oda of being always telling the past of the characters. Okay, I think they mentioned trying to say the obsession of Oda telling the past history of the characters and news is annoying. I found this aspect disgusting and pitiful. Jeez.
Disgusting.
Right?
Raw. Okay.
I'm guessing to say they mean, would it not be better if you'd insinuate things about the character instead of letting out all the information? It's horrible being in the middle of a great saga and realize how we have got involved in 10 chapters flashbacks. So they're talking about the annoyance of flashbacks, basically. Okay. I can understand with the main characters, but Oda needs to do it. I can stand with the main characters, but does Oda need to do it with every single one in capital letters? I do not care anything about their lives. So you think about Kuma, you think about Dofi. Basically, he's trying to say that all those side characters or all those characters in general don't need a backstory, or it doesn't need to be told. The two aspects made me take a little 3-year break. I don't know if I'll see it again. The art has become poorer and poorer. I disagree with that.
Definitely hard disagree on that.
That's only my humble opinion. It's still a nice series, but I can't follow it week by week, or my pity and disgust will overpass me and I'll become a monster, probably. Okay. And I think, so basically, to summarize, in terms of what I put in ChatGPT, slow pacing is a theme, so everyone talks about slow pacing. Choppy editing, so we're talking about flashbacks and all those things. Minimal lasting consequences, so fake deaths and stuff like that. Excessive sentimentality, so the crying and the dramatic backstories. What else did I have? Unnecessary length, pacing. 600 over 1,000 episodes now. Wasted time, so opening, endings, recaps, fillers. That's anime, yeah. Not for everyone. The reviewer wouldn't recommend it unless significantly shortened. Regret watching, so that was a key theme in all of those, but I don't know how you regret something you've been watching for like 7 years or so. I mean, over 500 episodes, that's a hell of an investment. Young, repetitive and unnecessary length. Weak plot progression. I don't know how they got weak plot progression. Uninspired characters. Don't have. And then the last one, which I totally disagree with, poor storytelling techniques.
Okay, what do you think about it first? Because I might go on a rant. So go on.
Yeah, I know you're definitely you're triggered. Look, when I was reading these, there were some which had some valuable points. So, as we mentioned, it is long. The pacing does definitely have some issues with it, and we know this. It's not something that is new to One Piece fans, especially, and I can take that critique. But I think when you start talking about some of the things they said in there, like Luffy is, what did that one person say about the main character? They said he is a jerk to others for no reason as a joke. That's definitely not Luffy. His humor is vulgar. Again, maybe you're talking about Sanji, but definitely not Luffy. I think some of this is rooted in just trolling. I think some of them lack a sophisticated way of critiquing the show. I mean, for this person, one of them gave the character 0, the animation 0, enjoyment 1 because of Zoro, and the story 0. I mean, again, it's one of those things where if you've watched over 800 episodes, you can't. Even by virtue, you have to at least give it 1. Yep. Because something had to have kept you interested for 800 episodes for you to keep watching. Unless, even if you're just watching to say, I've watched it, so therefore I can give it a 1. You wouldn't go that long. You could just say, I watched to Alabasta, or I watched to, what's it called? Fishman Island, because a lot of people say it gets better there. I did. It didn't capture my attention or my fancy, and these were the reasons. Fine. Look, you can give One Piece 1 star if you want, but it has to be rooted in firm and good rationale. And I think all of these, other than the pacing, which I agree with, and the somewhat character development of Luffy, but we've talked about that. Other than that, and the typical shonen thing about, the beginning, but yeah, that's an all anime, so I'm not even going to count that as a critique. I don't see any issues. I mean, not any issues. I don't see any valuable insight here, other than the pacing, because the world building and them saying it, nothing happens in like 500 episodes is not true. Things do happen. Yes, they take a long time, and that's primarily anime in general. So those are very generic things. But to say that, there is no story, which is a key theme when I summarized all of these things in AI, poor storytelling techniques, is wild. It's wild. But yeah, that's me.
I think you're fair. I think when this has actually been way more interesting. I thought I was just gonna jump on here and just make a bunch of jokes, but the longer people, I'm just gonna make jokes the whole episode. But then the longer you were talking about other people's and actually, I don't think some of them are trolling. I think some of them generally have that.
Yeah, that feeling. Yeah,
and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
We think they're wrong. Fine. But some of those things did get me thinking. Like
which one?
Like the flashbacks.
Yeah, the sentimentality thing is true. But that's all anime. All anime has flashbacks.
But true. But I think there's and this is, I feel like oh, okay. You okay there? You okay there? Oh, it's there's no ambulance. That's a police car. You're in trouble.
The only thing I'm in trouble for is looking good. Ding.
Oh my gosh. How dare you? Anyway, that's like a SpongeBob joke.
Exactly. That's why I put the thumbs up. Hey, Patrick. Anyway, the excessive sentimentality.
You get that. That's valid, because you know what they made me thinking, and I feel like my One Piece card is gonna get revoked. But I think that my favorite parts of One Piece are the arcs, the stages in between arcs, where they info dump.
Yes.
That's my favorite. It's like, because you basically see the results of what the Straw Hats did in any given arc. Yeah. How that's impacted the world and what happens next. That's my favorite part of. Those are my favorite chapters of One Piece. Or when there's like a lull in the arc where they're doing some information gathering. Yeah. And then you get a little bit of information. So we had that briefly in right now where we are in the manga. In I don't want to say the arc.
Whole cake. I'm not Egghead.
So you can see the lull. Yeah. And then as things ramp up, you learn more and more. So then as the peaks, you find out. And that is actually quite interesting. Because then you think about, okay, my favorite parts of One Piece are those in-between stages. So then what do I think about the arcs themselves then? And then when I think about the arcs themselves, then you really start to see you start to become a little bit more aware of, because I think we sometimes accept that they're going to go to an island. Yeah. someone's gonna be crying.
Yep.
Luffy's gonna be like, I'll help you out.
Yep.
And then we just like, okay, cool, yeah, forget all of that. What's happening again? So we just like mindlessly accept that repetitive notion. Because we already have the backstory. We already have the decades of knowledge in our heads. So we are now trying to piece together the rest of the puzzle with little drips of information that get given to us. Whereas a new watcher is not going into that. They're just watching it as if just as normal, you know? And some of the One Piece fights don't have the amount of... Some, not all. But so the reason why I say this, let me go back. I saw a clip of Naruto versus Sasuke, the first fight they had, the Naruto, not Shippuden, Naruto. Yeah. I was like, damn, that's a good fight. That has the emotion. Yeah. No talking. No, it was just, you knew what that fight represented. You knew what they were fighting for. You knew this was like a Luffy. This is Naruto's will versus Sasuke's will. Yep. What are they deciding to? Luffy. I keep saying Luffy. Naruto's like, cool, you're coming back here. Sasuke's like, leave me alone. I need more power. Like you get that. And of recent, in a very, I think I'm all over the place. But I think what I'm trying to say is that the storytelling method and style of One Piece is very, we will give you a ton of information, hold that, then we'll go on some normal anime stuff, normal shonen anime stuff, then give you a lot of more information, hold that, then there's a little bit more anime stuff. And I think if you don't like that style of storytelling, it's quite difficult, rather than a like consistent. But then
isn't the whole point of that to build intrigue? You can't give everything at once.
No, but even still, but so for example, the fact that like the first thing that went to my mind is, okay, Solo, imagine a One Piece where it's just filled with a progression of those in-between stages. And the arcs themselves are shortened. So the arcs are shortened because there's a pacing problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And
but it's the pacing problem
faster to those little those nuggets before and at the end, in between arcs, those nuggets of information.
But are you talking about the manga or the anime here? Because is there a pacing problem in the manga?
I mean, I'd say less so.
Yeah.
Less so. But still, there's still over 1,000 chapters in One Piece.
Yeah, true.
So there's still that. It may be slightly different, but there still has that pacing issue. And also, how long are we going to allow that repetitive nature of Luffy's island hopping to continue?
So you want him to be rooted now in one island, as it were, like Big Mama, like Kaido.
No. But I think the track could be. I mean, but then I'm just arguing myself right now. That's literally, I literally am. So what I want to say is, okay, let's just have one goal now. We are going to do this. Screw the rest of the islands. We have all the information we need, and let's go here. For example.
Well, aren't they going to?
But then I was going to say the whole idea. Of One Piece is that and the One Piece world is that it's a bunch of islands. So, and you have to make your own path. So I think it's okay. Do you know what? This makes no sense. I'm sorry, people. Do you know what I'm right? If you like open map RPGs, you'll like One Piece.
Exactly.
You'll like
exactly.
If you don't like those open sandbox games, if you don't like massive open sandbox games, you will not like One Piece. If you don't like design your own adventure, don't watch One Piece. You will not like it.
Facts.
If you like straight old school GoldenEye, Halo, no multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Just one solid story. Bang, it's this. Or like even like The Last of Us. Confined story. We're going from A to B. This is what we're trying to do. This is where we're going to go to. Cool. So I like Red Dead Redemption.
Yep. I like Fable.
I like Skyrim. I like Fallout. I like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I like all this. Just let me do what I want. I will explore all over the place. Therefore, I like One Piece because it's also that it's like an anime version, or it's
because
like that.
I find those games as well. I actually sometimes I'm more intrigued about the side quest than actually doing the main story.
But what happens if anyone's like an RPG lover? What do we do? Do we do the main story first? No. We finish every side story there ever was. Because we know as soon as and this is just me, as soon as I finish that main storyline, I'm putting down the game. I'm putting down the control. I got nothing. There's
nothing else. Yeah,
there's nothing else.
Facts.
I don't want it. I want to go to. I remember in Fallout 4, I explored every corner of the map. When I say every corner, I mean I walked in the map till I got to the corner till they couldn't go anymore. I couldn't go anymore.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but I agree. It's one of those things where you have to be open-minded in terms of how you experience the show. But yeah, these are some fair critiques. Now you say there are some fair critiques. I think
that pacing is a big one, though.
The pacing is a big one.
We need to really.
I agree in terms of the information dump.
That's a big one.
But the information dump, it's not like it's just between arcs. There are arcs that have, like, Wano had a lot of information in there. So it's not just the case of it's in between. I think Zoe as well, for me, had a lot of information in there.
Yeah, but then you have arcs like Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, like the person said. So do you agree with that person in that those arcs had nothing to do with the show? Alabasta, Skypiea, Thriller Bark, Drum.
Remember, it's like I said, that's why I came to that conclusion. It's like a RPG game. You will go when they said Skypiea has got nothing to do. Put yourself in the mind of a new watcher and you're watching Skypiea. How would you feel that they talk about Skypiea and they talk about someone like Gold Roger, and you never see him, you never hear anything about, you're never shown this Gold Roger until what 6 months ago, 7 months ago?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Until nothing. Nothing. Even one of the most beloved characters in the show we've seen less than 10 times in Shanks.
Yeah, Shanks is a mystery.
And don't get started on Dragon.
Oh yeah, he's once. I've seen him once or twice, maybe.
He saved his son at the beginning of the show. So you're, as a new watcher, thinking, okay, cool. So maybe we'll get to see, or maybe we'll see the granddad and learn more
it's
about.
The mystery, though, aren't you?
But some mysteries take too long. Some mysteries take too long.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When you see Shanks, are you not excited? Oh, Shanks is here.
Yeah, but for some people, absence makes people break up. And they just leave. They just leave the relationship. And they just leave. How long are you going to be absent from my life before I make a decision? I can't just sit here. I will expect. So you and these and so. And we've said it before. If I had not watched One Piece and you told me to watch One Piece, it would be a hard sell for me to watch it now. And especially in today's age, where you're up against things like JJK and the seasonal nature of shows now. I mean, One Piece doesn't have early One Piece didn't have that seasonal nature. Although the arcs were good, it was a different time, so we have to really accept that. This is like this is late 90s, early 2000s, so it's a different environment, different world. I get it.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I do. I think all my rambling has just got. I talk and think at the same time. People should do that. It's a good thing to do, because you know what I do. Also, I'm going off piece here, but it's true. You know what I do? You know when you're like you're thinking about like something for work or a presentation or whatever, or a dispute, you're thinking you have to, or something, a conflict, say it out loud, because then you can fine tune the tone of voice that you want to have. Because in your mind you think, I'm going to say this, and then when it comes to it, it comes out.
I mean,
it
that's
comes
practicing.
out. It comes out. So just say it out loud, like, okay, okay, I should say it like that. That's that. I might get punched in the face. Let me dial it down a little bit, and so on and so forth. But all that to push that, just forget I said that. So just push it to one side. Back to One Piece. That pacing is a real issue.
Yeah, we know
pacing
that.
is a real issue, because if you don't have the pacing, it's harder for people to engage in the story. It's harder for people to engage with characters. It's harder for
What
people
if you
to,
don't, or if you do?
if you don't have pacing, if you don't have good
Yeah,
pacing.
that's what I'm saying. It's annoying, but it's needed.
But no. The pacing that One Piece has is not needed.
I think it is.
That's slow pacing. That's not needed.
Okay, maybe not the slow pacing, but I think that
it's not needed.
Okay, maybe it's not needed, but I do think that. Well, what are we talking about slow pacing? Are we talking about going into everyone's backgrounds? Is that what you mean by slow pacing?
The actual pacing of the show itself. How slow it takes for things to actually
but
happen.
that's all anime though.
No, that's not all anime, because Naruto wasn't like this.
What?
No. I'm not saying Naruto didn't have, I don't think Naruto has pacing issues to the same extent that One Piece does. You can't sit here and say that. If you're going to talk about poor pacing, you look up in the anime dictionary, you see Luffy's face.
This takes us brilliantly into the Naruto 1 star. So let's go into that. Right, so
I haven't finished talking about One Piece yet. Let me finish. Listen, if you have that poor, I think basically it's just all of what you said at the beginning of this episode can all be summarized by poor pacing. You have poor pacing, everything falls by the wayside. Why do people like Shibuya Incident so much? Because it was relentless.
But weren't you the same person that said, Ed, don't you think Shibuya Incident should have come 1 season after? Give us a bit more time with Gojo.
But we're talking about different things now. We're talking about. I'm not talking about enjoyment. We're talking about the extension of the show and the depth of the show and the story progression. But the pacing of a single arc. Just talking about a single arc, not when it happens. The arc itself, in order for it to make it more impactful, you could have had because that was someone saying that they didn't really feel attached to the characters. Yep. So my response was, okay, well, if you had an arc in between, it had a season in between 1 and 2, JJK, then when season 3 happens, or what it would be now season 3, Shibuya Incident happens, it would be even more impactful because you spent more time before. I'm not saying anything that needs to change in Shibuya Incident arc. The pacing there is relentless, and we all like it because it's just like bang bang. That would have taken 18 months in One Piece. that would have taken 18 months, maybe 2 years to do the whole of Shibuya Incident. That happened in one night. Shibuya Incident. I'm taking this excuse. So he's actually eating a chocolate bar, so I'm going to carry on talking. So basically, that's what I'm trying to say, right? So pacing is the doorway to gain fans. You need that. If you don't, pacing allows you to then quickly get to the characters quicker, understand people's ideals, connect to the characters, connect to the storyline, and also think about it. You know those gaps that we're talking about in between arcs that we say are the good part? Wano was like 2-3 years in real time.
Well, not that long.
No, in like real life, it was like 2 years.
Was it?
Yeah. Yes. It was like 2 years.
Wano was 2 years.
Maybe even longer. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
So
I get it. I get
okay,
it. Yeah, I
right?
get it. I think
So
maybe
if
because
you're-
I just binge it. I don't
see exactly. Imagine you're one of those week to week.
Ooh, yeah, that's.
And I say that because I am a week to week because I'm reading a manga.
Yeah, that
week to
hurts,
week.
man. That hurts.
And for 2 years we're in that arc. So then you start seeing, okay, I kind of get this. One arc for 2 years, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, there's a real problem here. So, and if you're not, like, we are very lucky that we have people and friends like you and I, we can talk about what happens. So it's constantly playing in our heads. Oh, remember this. Oh, I forgot that person. Remember that. Oh, I forgot that fact. But then if you don't have that opportunity to kind of talk and share those knowledge, or you don't watch any reviews, or you don't follow anyone on Twitter or on YouTube or X or YouTube or anything, then you're going to forget all those little pieces of information that tie things together. Like, for example, how Skypiea relates to what happens now, and how the foreshadowing in Skypiea is related to what happened in Wano. Ed, there's more than 10 years between those two things in real life. 10 years between Skypiea, what happens in Skypiea and the party in Skypiea and Wano. Over 10 years. I'm pretty sure it's close to 15. Come on,
Ladies and
Ed.
gentlemen, please stop him. We
Come
may have
on.
a
Come on.
we may have a
That, and you expect someone to be like, oh yeah, I remember that fact.
we may have a double agent. he's leaving the cause. He's leaving the cause. Someone stop him. Don't. We have a deserter. We have a deserter.
I just literally, I can accept it now. I can accept it. Like, we have this in our head and we talk about it all the time that we remember, but we forget the real time that happens between these shows.
Okay, I'm conscious of time, so we're gonna move to Naruto now
And
because
another
clearly,
thing, I don't know. I'm joking.
Solo's the one who wrote that
told
1-star
you.
review.
I just get it. I just like, you know what? You've solved pacing. Now I'm a fan. Now, yeah, boy. Nah, come on, Odo. We trust you, but come on, man.
All right, Naruto Shippuden. Yeah? Wait, is he trying to make the video disappear with a terrible hand tool? Sadly, yes. Yes, he is. It's still there, though. Yes, but in his mind, it's gone.